Bon bah on va faire la même chose. Hop. Descendre sans lame. Je viens prendre de vos nouvelles. Ah, un instant, prenons le temps de discuter d'abord. Ouais, il m'en manque pas mal quand même des réceptacles.
Ok.
Je vais vous laisser enfermer ici le temps que je me décide. Ça tient pas debout. Remonter récupérer la lame. Oh, alors attends. Si vous n'avez vu personne depuis longtemps, comment avez-vous fait pour vous nourrir ou pour boire?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
J'imagine que vous enfermez ici pour une raison.
I'm locked up down here for a reason.
Ah?
I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
Qu'allez-vous faire si je vous laisse sortir?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
On m'a envoyé pour vous tuer. Mais je ne crois pas que vous représentiez un réel danger.
Is that why they threw me down here?
Mon petit cœur. En plus, je crois qu'on l'a déjà eu, ça. Non, même pas.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
Pas vraiment, non. Non, c'est pour cette raison que je ne pense pas que vous soyez dangereuse.
Sooner or later, you'll learn to trust me. Hopefully it won't be too late when you finally come around.
Thank you for believing me. Now, can you help me get out of here?
Je vais voir ce que je peux faire.
You walk up to the chains.
Je vais aller là-haut, il y a peut-être une clé quelque part, tenter de redescendre. Oxyre. J'avais pas le choix. Oh, elle va être sévère la prochaine princesse.
Okay. There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you.
Bah, normal qu'elle soit déterre.
I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your blade cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knee. We can still turn this around.
Abandonné.
Are you serious? As what's left of your blood pools around you on the cobblestone floor,
J'ai pas le choix d'essayer, j'ai le choix entre abandonner et fuir.
Clatters uselessly against the ground. I suppose you see the princess, wounded but still alive, nervously jumps at the blade and kicks it far away from you before retreating into a dark corner of the room.
Oh, un coin sombre.
Her shining eyes watch you from the darkness, unblinking and curious as you bleed out. We can only hope the wounds you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If you're very lucky, they'll kill her before she can reach the outside.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
This is the end, isn't it? Before you can answer, everything goes dark, and you die.
La bête. On avait déjà eu ça ou pas, je sais plus. Tournez les talons. J'ai essayé. Avancez vers le chalet.
She will look as a cat. I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if she could have gotten out of there.
Voix du traqué.
We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Entrez dans le chalet.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated.
Oh wow.
It feels like no one has lived here for a long time. Wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls.
Oui, une nouvelle voie. Ce qui veut dire aussi que c'est une nouvelle zone.
With a pristine blade perched on its edge.
La table rongée par les termites, quoi.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it.
Descendre au sous-sol.
Do you think we can talk our way out of this?
La griffe d'acier.
She wants to talk. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes.
Ok, si j'étais dans un jeu de rôle avec des potes, cette information me dirait faut que je me souvienne qu'il y a des trous dans l'escalier.
If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
Grogne.
I can smell you.
Oh.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager.
Bah elle veut juste nous bouffer, c'est rien. Elle a faim.
The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit.
C'est la forme évoluée de la forme qu'on a eue avant en fait. C'est la même queue, je crois. Même type de queue.
You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living
Je pourrais pas faire parce qu'il y a des trous, c'est ça. Mon pied va se coincer dans le trou. Des feuilles vous effleurent de tous les côtés, les plantes sont partout et semblent être la seule source de vie au beau milieu de cette étrange jungle souterraine. Non mais je la vois moi, elle est là, hein. On la voit. Elle est partie.
Remember, she's just a princess.
Oui, c'est juste une princesse. Maintenant, c'est elle le dragon et c'est moi la princesse. C'est plus elle la princesse, là. C'est moi, là. Bonjour.
Her shining eyes appear between the leaves,
Je l'ai
staring
dit.
hungrily
Ah oui,
at
bah
you.
oui, elle veut me bouffer. C'est ce que j'avais dit. Elle est affamée, elle veut me manger.
I can.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you
Ah.
upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Pour aller où? Tu n'entends pas ce bruit de métal, elle est toujours enchaînée, tout va bien. Vous comptez m'attaquer, pas vrai, je vois clair dans vos yeux. Nous n'avons pas besoin de nous entretuer, vous en avez conscience, bougez, restez immobile. Restez immobile.
There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous, the princess, lunges from
Oh,
the
purée.
shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devoured.
Me suis fait bouffer.
I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no,
Tu penses?
this isn't it.
Comment ça, c'est pas
You
là?
are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip.
Ah ouais, elle a
Your
vraiment une
hands
bouche
scrabbling
immense si elle a
uselessly
réussi
at
à
your
nous gober comme
surroundings
ça.
as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time. The liquid cooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin.
Quelque chose me dit que j'aurais
You
peut-être dû
itch,
prendre la lame en
then
fait.
sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
J'ai zéro chance de
When
survivre,
I
tu veux dire?
killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight.
En vrai, je suis pas sûre que j'ai super bon goût. Hein. Enfin, je sais pas quel goût ça a, un dragon ou un reptile, mais...
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else.
En plus, elle a mangé avec les ongles, les os, tout ça. Elle va avoir une indigestion.
And I carried it in my throat. And I draped what was left of you on my back. And I threw myself against that door.
Ah ouais. Bon, c'est une technique.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body
pop.
lurching right along with her. Her chains, she's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
En vie pour combien de temps?
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before we are her.
Alors, attends. On va sauvegarder. C'est pas comme ça? C'est comment? Sauvegarder. Voilà. Vous pouvez parler avec le chalet. Oui, attends, oui, c'est vrai, ça, elle peut parler avec le chalet. Vous auriez pu me demander avant de me dérouvrir vivant. Griffer et mordre. J'ai compris, vous pouvez partir. Vous pouvez vous en aller. Pitié, laissez-moi juste sortir d'ici. Attendre la mort. On va essayer de griffer et mordre quand même.
You are, you tear against the thick membranes of her stomach with every part of you that can be made sharp. Nails, claws,
Parce qu'on se fait digérer là quand même.
hands, feet.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
Est-ce que je peux continuer? Oui, je peux continuer. Bah c'est parti.
Again you tear, heart pumping with adrenaline, your ulcerating hands are blurred.
Et après on reviendra sur la save et on tentera autre chose.
Against being reduced to lifeless molecules and meat. The pulling returns to banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. The flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh waves of blistering acid.
You can't hold me forever.
Griffer et mordre.
Your energy is fading. You can hear her heart thumping somewhere close. There's so little of you left.
Ah, ma main!
Your fingers reduced to bone, your nerves bare and scream.
Vos os ne sont plus que des os, vos nerfs sont à vif, l'acide à vos pieds est maintenant mélangé à votre peau et votre chair fondue. Votre corps mourant est mu par votre seule volonté.
But will can never truly exceed the limits of the flesh. Your vision finally begins to blur, your eyes clouding over as they melt. What little air remains in this rancid stew of flesh and slippery organs is finally too foul to breathe.
La nature sauvage.
We are a path in the woods.
Hein?
We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries...
Shut up!
Ah.
The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one,
Dis-moi non.
but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
That's just because she devoured us and we dissolved
Résigné.
away. We don't even exist as a body anymore. We're still here though. And if we're safe, isn't that better? She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
I guess that's it then. This is us now. We're the woods. Okay.
Ok, oui. Cet être qui nous observe, quelle est sa véritable nature? À quoi bon s'entêter à vouloir agir? Cette situation me convient parfaitement, l'oisiveté a du bon parfois. Pourquoi êtes-vous si gentil avec moi? Pourtant vous n'êtes qu'un monstre, vous m'avez dévoré. Je sens que le monde extérieur fait pression sur nous, comment peut-on y remédier? Ainsi sommes-nous censés être? Mais maintenant qu'allons-nous faire? Nous sommes devenus une abomination, je ne le supporte plus. Ça ne me plaît pas, je possède ma propre personnalité et normalement vous n'êtes pas censé en faire partie. Et le narrateur, comment je l'arrête? Je sens que le monde extérieur... Non, il est où? L'oisiveté, ça a du bon.
Just passively exist forever, not with her. That isn't how it works. The princess ate you last time. Stop passively vibing with a literal predator and remember that you're enemies. Remember what she's done to you and how much.
Mais je façon génial, merci.
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Je regrette pas de t'avoir déchiré les intestins.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping, a heartbeat, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
Contemplez toute l'étendue de votre terreur, l'enfouir maintenant avant qu'il soit trop tard. L'enfouir maintenant avant qu'il soit trop
You
tard.
can't bury that feeling. You can't hide from your past.
The past doesn't have to exist. Our freedom is within us. We just have to find it.
Le passé ne peut pas être effacé, je m'en souviens. Trouvez votre liberté au plus profond de vous-même.
You fall inward into a network of connections too vast for your mind to occupy. Are you a path in the woods? Are you a body? Can you even grasp the fuzziest edges of the shapes that confine you?
We can change to fill them together.
We don't need to be everywhere. We just need to test the boundaries. You'd do best to remember that some wounds will never heal. Some rifts can never be mended. Even in rebirth, some things never come back the same. What is he going on about? What does he know about us? This is all too much. Why can't we just let her do as she sees fit?
Tellement.
She's the one who can handle being vast. It's not for us. It's not for me. You aren't whole. You'll never be whole again. This struggle is meaningless. Whatever you think you're doing, you will fall apart.
We don't need to be made whole. All we need to do is find a single corner of
Tout à
this
fait.
cage and break it.
Il existe un lieu où vous avez votre place et qui vous appelle, vous devez juste le trouver.
You stretch and search, growing as you decay and decaying as you grow. As you strain beyond your limits, the ground around you becomes dry and unstable and crumbles into nothing beneath you. This place will fall apart before you find its end. This task, whatever it is you think you're doing, is impossible. All he has are words.
Rien n'est impossible.
Words aren't real. We're real.
I can hold us together for a little while longer, so long as you trust me.
Of course we do. To the ends of the earth.
Je vous fais confiance.
You won't find anything if I have to starve you. If I have to sacrifice my world to keep the princess at bay, I'll do it.
Mais vous trouvez bien quelque chose. Une surface froide et lisse. Elle ploie délicatement puis se fend sous le poids de votre conscience.
Don't move an inch. Don't grow another blade of grass or harvest the remains of another dying creature so you can expand just that much further. Stop all of this. Right now. I think it's too late for that, mate.
I'm at your side. Shatter it and free us all.
Oui, madame, brisez la cage.
No, stop!
Mais sa voix est interrompue par un bruit de verre brisé. Pendant quelques instants, la princesse et vous contemplez, depuis un minuscule trou de souris, le lieu qui vous appelle.
Is this what he kept from us? Is this why he made us kill each other?
is beautiful.
À votre
We need
princesse,
to be
toujours.
there. We won't be safe until we are. We won't be whole.
Tout à coup, il ne reste
Where
plus
did
rien.
it go? Why is everything so cold?
Sérieux, l'entité? N'aurais-je jamais l'occasion de répondre, elle a déjà disparu.
Is that a...
S'approcher du miroir. Cette
I
chose
don't want
empêche
to
la
look at
mort.
us.
Contemplez votre reflet. Ah! Ah! Ah, mais ça veut dire que c'était déjà un truc qu'on a vu. Avancez vers le chalet. Du coup, elle est comment? C'est un arbre!
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet.
Alors, voyons voir. Souvenir. Oui, on en a eu deux nouveaux. 3, pardon. La bête, la nature sauvage, et ils vécurent heureux. Mais du coup, on va revenir à la sauvegarde que j'avais fait. Parce qu'on peut peut-être avoir un autre réceptacle si je lui défonce pas les intestins. Vous pouvez parler avec le chalet?
And it understands me. Talking is for those who don't know how to listen.
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
I don't think we can talk our way out of this. We are drowning in death. There's no more space for words.
Vous auriez pu me demander avant de me dévorer
I
vivant.
acted on my will, fledgling, and you acted on yours. The strong triumph, and the weak submit or perish.
The pulling returns to banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin.
Il faut que je sois d'accord pour vous libérer, pas vrai, vous ne pouvez pas m'obliger. Même si je veux retrouver ma liberté, c'est pas pour autant que je veux vous rendre la vôtre. J'ai compris, vous pouvez partir.
Oh, can I?
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through the layers of suffocating flesh.
That wasn't so hard.
You feel her take another massive step, and then another, and then it's gone quiet, hasn't it?
Les murs de chair autour de vous s'agitent, puis vous traversez un tunnel humide avant d'être éjecté dans le néant.
I get you to be a part of me. How lucky for you. This place.
Ok,
is
oui, c'est
cold.
elle derrière. J'avais un doute sur si c'était elle ou nous. Charger une partie, on va revenir sur la même save. Et cette fois, on va pas lui dire qu'on peut la laisser sortir pour pouvoir avoir le 3e chapitre. J'ai failli cliquer dessus quand même. Hein.
I understand.
Faut que je sois d'accord pour vous libérer, pas vrai, vous ne pouvez pas m'obliger à vous laisser partir. Toutes les créatures désirent être libres, il en sera de même pour vous avant votre mort. Ah ben on est quand même là-dedans. Alors du coup, et le narrateur, comment je l'arrête?
By remembering that you exist, and not as some part of a gestalt entity formed with the princess. You exist as your own self, complete with your own physical body. I'm not so sure about that. We were something like that once, but now? And if thinking about that isn't enough to startle you back to reality, consider this. The princess ate you last time. Stop passively
Et contemplez l'étendue de votre terreur.
Don't make us remember how
Désolée, mais j'ai déjà eu la fin où je suis gentille avec toi dans cette zone.
And just like that, you start to fall apart. I can remember it now. I didn't like being eaten. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so hard to breathe. But she didn't care. As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of the princess, you start to remember something else. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be.
I don't like this. It's better for us to be the woods. I don't want to go back.
No, I devoured you. I won. I put things back the way they were supposed to be.
Some divisions, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were. A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it
Ah bah oui,
swallows
maintenant
your
je me fais
body.
bouffer par le chalet. C'est pas mal aussi ça. Tout le monde veut me
You
bouffer.
find yourself blade
Oh mon
in
Dieu.
hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
I feel empty, don't you?
Sauvegarder. Ouais, je dois être délicieuse.
We're just like her. And she's just like us. We never should have left her. I feel safe. She isn't dangerous anymore. We could leave her. We could both live.
Do we have to do this? You have to. You know you have to.
Je n'ai jamais vraiment eu l'intention de vous tuer, mais nous ne pouvons être indistincts l'un de l'autre. Il fallait que je mette un terme à tout ce qui nous était arrivé. Trancher ces liens. Trancher ces liens.
This little bastard. If you think I'm going to let you free her, you have another thing coming. And that other thing is... You'll just have to wait and find out when it happens.
Ignore him. His words only confuse us. Just do it.
You're tired, aren't you? No, I'm not. I'm... Cut the princess down from the roots that bind her. I hope you're happy. Good luck getting her out of here.
Merci.
I think we are happy, actually. We might not be a part of her, but being around her is almost the same. Almost.
I didn't think you would do that after everything. It's so cold without you.
Petit cœur.